nerf. Like, he's not thinking that Sentinels is going to pick Silva, but obviously they just stuck with it. So I don't know. I have to think about that a little bit more. Either way, their Sky was fantastic last game.
Yeah.
It's a different player now, though. So we'll have to see.
Luminosity starting off on attack. B-Dog's already been tagged up. Taking a little bit of damage, but not much progress made here at all.
Yeah. I mean, they poke early. And they get a little bit of damage on the Sick, but trades a little bit with B-Dog as well. So they're going completely refresh over towards Dapper. And does have a trip to indicate that they're out, as well as the camera. And he spots them too. I think he spotted 2 there, so the rotation should be coming through. Look at Tense. Tense is already going down elbow. This take needs to happen right now, or Tense is going to be flanking super fast.
Tense on the flank. Shazam was actually rotating over 2. Ultimately falls, but you're right. You gotta watch out for Tense. And there it is. The flank has already shown up as he takes care of Dazzle. Looking for a bit more as he gets a second. And the pistol here going heavily in favor of Sentinels. Yeah. Bala did, I believe Sentinels won both pistols in the first map too, right?
Yep, exactly. And remember, there was the force back from LG after the bonus loss on the second half last time. This time they don't even get the spike down. They barely even get a kill.
Yeah.
2 kills in that one. And that was just a good read. After Dapper peeks at the right time, spots 2 of them, Tense is immediately pushing down elbow. And he's already cleared that space with the camera, so Tense knows a little bit that he's safe in that spot. Rotation from LG came really slow, and they never really pounced on the site. It's going to be interesting, B-Dog. Tense clearly was good with the jet changes. Last game, B-Dog we haven't seen yet. And they're playing a full retake setup on B. They've already broken the trip too, so Mata can kind of explore.
Yeah, Tense, as you mentioned, is taking so much space mid. B-Dog almost seems to expect it. B-Dog winning that duel again. Weren't very many times that we could say Tense was winning that out. Seems to continue here.
You say that. Actually, I looked it up in the middle, and I was on the side that you're saying too. I thought that B-Dog was getting the best of him, but it was even on all counts with op kills or the regular kills.
And that's what I get for believing you.
It's the feeling that counts, right?
That's true. That is true. You're starting to see this gun difference really come on display here for Sentinels, as Tig is the only one that remains. But it wasn't for free. Sentinels did manage to drop both Konpeki and Tense.
One more kill here would be amazing. Just cancel out the bonus. And I don't think he's going to get it. So bonus still active. And LG, last time, the first pistol round, they didn't win that bonus. Or they didn't win against the bonus of Sentinels, I guess I should say. This time, that needs to be different, I think. They need to keep the game as close as possible early. Because I just don't think that we're going to have such swingy beginning of this game. It's going to be much more like the second half of Bind. Just because I think both teams are warmed up now. And they know what to expect. Look at this 3 push down. That flash, while good, confirms there's some sort of a push. Doesn't really know the extent of it. And the extent of it is dangerous. But great angle from Mata to receive. And they don't really have anybody who can flash for Dapper here, unless Konpeki was to join him with it.
I got the spike.
It's interesting. The dart there that went top mid, kind of smoked it off. That also could have indicated they crossed back. But instead, they have this setup. If they walk into elbow, this is so dangerous.
The Trailblazers going to give some of it away, but how much more are they expecting? B-Dog greeted with Marshall. Takes a good bit of damage, but seems to be okay for now. The spam's there as Konpeki cleans up Tig. Tense repositioning, looking for a little bit more. There it is. He lands a shot. The dash does work, but it may not matter. Staffer cleans things up as well. Moose is left alone in this 1v3. This round has gone horribly sideways for Luminosity. Oh, now the neural theft too.
You can't really run with 25 seconds left.
He's gonna try.
He's gonna cut it really close if he goes through double doors even. And I think Sentinels has already said, hey, I think you can't make it.
10 seconds.
He's gonna have to
left.
plant inside the open if Shazam's gonna be here.
Woo!
Oh, he gets across. Wow.
The dart's gonna give the position away though, and the shock dart hurts. Shaz cleans him up at the end. So Sentinels with a great lead. Here to start off Breeze. Luminosity just were not able to find their way in on B, and you look on the minimap, and it really just kind of tells you this whole story. His bodies are littering right outside of B main.
I mean, immediately they have a problem to solve, right?
Yeah.
The people who are pushing down mid, that's Dapper, that's Tens, and that's sometimes Campeki with them. And the last round it was. They had a brutal setup on elbow, and they didn't even go into it. Dapper has the kill trips for them if they walk out. And so far, the prep is fantastic on this B side. So the options are, let's continue to challenge. Let's try to actually fight the mid pressure, which is not happening this time. But let's use a dart. Let's use a flash. Let's take the fight into mid. Or just go towards A. And this time they're prepped really, really hard over towards A.
Yeah, look at the Sentinels. Have already sent 2 up. B-Dog.
This,
It's a lot of damage.
it's a little much, though. Shazam has to try to find a way to get Sick out of here. And he does.
Just barely. 2,000. Is that to do the smoke?
Yeah.
Right here.
Okay.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
Meanwhile, Mata did get taken out on elbow against Campeki. And that has given, actually, Campeki the full reign to come back over towards A. And his knife is actually going to come up. Yep. Cancels the drone.
And the blades. And again, it seems like Luminosity, they cut noise. Quietly wait to reposition and see how they want to approach this. Take creeping his way forward now. You know, with 30 HP, the Classic's not going to do anything up there. As Tens gets 3 on the round. Although, Moose starting to rip this thing back. They may have a shot at this, Bala.
There's the last player. Moose can get the north left off. Yep. So they'll know where he's coming from. They can position accordingly. They're still not planting the spike. That's going to actually cost them time to reposition in this case.
Cage triggered.
He's got utility. Moose is the big problem here. You've got to be able to deal with Moose and B-Dog's blades. Win the round out. A thrifty one at that for Luminosity. That looked like they were dead in the water.
It did. And that wasn't even one that they had any chance. They should have had any chance at. They bought a little bit, a couple of marshals. This shot started things off. Sick taking a lot of damage on that initial engagement too. But even with Tens getting those 2 kills, which gives them the advantage.
Enemy remaining.
B-Dog gets his knives up. And it's just clean from there. Okay, that's actually good. The cannon camera will spot anybody jumping out of nest or peeking nest. And now they've actually confirmed that Tens is walking down. But it doesn't matter. There's nobody there to trade with Mata.
Yeah. There's out Tens knows how to use a blade storm as well.
LG thinks they're free up halls here. They haven't spotted anybody this entire time. And yeah, that's what happens. Shazam's just holding an off angle on him.
Drone.
Just walked right into his crosshair. I didn't have to move. Positions there. Spike still hasn't really made its way out of caves, but yeah, you've got Moose who's gone up really deep here. But there's no easy way for them to rotate back. It seems Moose almost has to rejoin A here.
Give me those back.
But it seems like they're going to try anyway. And off of the attempt at a rotate, take falls.
Enemy remaining.
Yeah.
There's definitely an opportunity there as Moose got the flank on Shazam. Because Tig then has the opportunity to open up the door and cause problems and pressure on the A side. But as he falls off, as everybody regroups around that space, I mean, there's a whole world watching him. So Dazzle looks like he wants to try to save. And I think he might actually get it off because Sick is going to clear Ness and that's it, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of time too. Yeah, it seems like he's passed.
10 seconds left.
Should be able to get away.
There's still time once they clear this for Sick to walk back over.
Nah, no way.
Yeah. Nice. Could have crawled in there, too. That would have been really safe, Dazzle.
So Dazzle brings this Vandal into the next round. And that was really the only saving grace for the round for Luminosity again. Otherwise, things just did not go well. And off of that, it seems like they're going to call a timeout. Sentinels look very good. They've been applying pressure mid, as you've said. Luminosity have really struggled to find much of an answer.
Yeah, and again, the two obvious options, and those are the only ones I have the ability to point out, is to try to fight back against that setup where Tens is pushing elbow over and over and over, or to just go towards A. And the one time they really did try to go towards A, it was when Sentinel stopped doing what they were doing. But again, Tens goes exploring. Again, he gets Mata, and Mata's 0-5 because of the way that that's actually being played out. That's his job. And right now it's going terribly. So they need to replace something around that area of the map. I think something that could work is fast up mid instead of through elbow to try to punish and get 10 stuck in that position. But we'll see. I don't think I've really seen LG be willing to make those types of gamble pushes fast. I mean, out of the rounds that we've seen so far in the series, you can count on your fingers the time that they rushed anything.
Yeah.
They're playing very slow.
Man, and the buy's weird too. They've got light armor down the entire way. A Sheriff and a Marshal from Mata and Tig, respectively.
Tense is going a different way.
Oh, but are you expecting Sick? No, I don't. You're not.
Stun. Yeah, that Molly is too hard to push through with the orb as well.
Yeah.
But now Dapper's left completely alone. He does not have Tens to back him up, and that's been the key for him in previous rounds. No tripwire kill either. They've got some control.
All of the utilities been cleared out. Dapper playing around his cage. You hear the Hunter Fury come through. Dapper just waiting on the other side. It drops, and just like that, the kills erupt. Tig's Marshal's not going to be enough as Dapper gets 3 on the round. No utility. Didn't seem to make a difference.
Really strange decision there, actually, from LG to leave him there. All right, they caged him off and then just said, okay, I mean, you could be on the other side of this, but hopefully I win the fight. And you can see Dazzle had his darts out. Right? He was trying to actually stop them from coming out and supporting Dapper. I think they also didn't really confirm that he was there, so a false sense of security. And clearly, mistakes costing them here. Gorgeous play from Dapper, though. Because, again, using the idea that they haven't seen him yet, and he's able to make a play from that. That is gorgeous.
Eda bringing an op into this round, the Guardian and the Spectre to join them.
They are going fast mid this time, though. 3 players in this position. Flashing door quick, a dart up as well. And they've swapped Dapper over towards A in lieu of Sick playing the Viper's Pit with the camera supporting him as well, so he can't get flanked out of tunnels.
Welcome to my world.
Whoa.
Okay.
Ult through halls and immediately clearing back. What a response. They push cave too. LG have no clue where to go at this point.
No,
Map
man.
control lost on A. And halls completely.
And then you can't really go B because of the Viper's Pit either. They have such a good setup. They've been suffocated out. Luminosity left with no options.
And the timing is great as well for Shazam to arrive at the perfect time, right as LG actually break the camera and start to pressure Sick on the backside. Potentially get a pinch off. Shazam's here to receive. They have so much that could combo here.
Yeah, and you've got Dapper.
Shock darts, mollies, everything.
And you've got Dapper holding Nest too, so even if they try to explore that.
Still have a Trailblazer.
Spotted him. Chaz takes Armada. Only 3 left for Luminosity with 30 seconds to think this one through, and they've made their way around them, but I don't know that Chaz knows. No, he falls. Now Dapper's going to show up. He's still back sight, but they're going to have to do something quick. How have Luminosity cracked this thing open?
Spikes down, though, in a spot where Tens is watching with an op. There's no chance of recovering that spike.
No, not at all. Moose is going to have to pull off some sort of madness. 47 HP, no armor to his name. Yeah, he gets the spike down, but that's all it's going to be. If it wasn't Tens with the classic from around the corner, it was the nade that was going to clean things up. And while it was dicey for a moment, Luminosity found an opening. The fact that the spike landed in no man's land just flipped it back their way.
This is dominant from Sentinel so far. And you could tell there's a difference, right? LG's not really winning any of the extremity fights. They're getting flanked. They're not maintaining map control, which is a necessity with their slow approach to their attack sides.
Oh, and Breeze in general too, right? Like, you get punished so much more if you don't have that here.
Yep. Okay, so again, they're going to pressure try to walk up halls. Very low economy. Intense. Every time he's making the right guess, the right sight to hold down. And he's actually giving the op over to Shazam, playing a really corner where he's never played.
You know that it's there now. B-Dog dashes forward into his Cloudbird, tries to drop down around yellow. The flash cleans up the kill, the stinger of all things.
I know exactly.
So once again, Luminosity against odds seem to find openings, but the problem is they haven't successfully converted enough times. Ball, they've been here before, but Sentinels seem to yank it back.
Well, this is the first time they've actually won the fights on both sides of their approach, right? Whenever they go for a split, usually it's just getting meekly through on one side. This time, they got through halls. They even had the flank possible for Mata, and they maintained site control.
Pig is weak. He hears people swimming around. He's going to get a chance at both of them, but Shaz Op cleans that one up. It's still a 1v3, though. And Dazzle still has 2 shock darts. Yeah, I think at this point you save the Op. That's exactly what Shaz is doing.
Get that back in the hands of Tens. With the dynamic positioning that he's having so far, he's having such an impact. And LG didn't even recover any guns, no weapons from that. Because of the threat of Shazam opping in the back of sight. He does swap it back over towards Tens.
Thanks.
So that worked fast. Through with the A split, with the wall actually, that they stole from M3C over in EMEA. To get that door open and then drop and dash through. Very nice stuff. And also, TIG finally coming online. First 3 kills of the game, and they're huge ones on the back of sight. Mata needs to join him.
Same flash from the previous round towards double doors, but the pace is not there. It's not a fast hit.
Look at Tens. He's going to walk through this. Oh, my goodness.
He spotted his
Cam did not spot him. He sees him now, yep. I can't believe he walked through that smoke without activating his dash. This guy's on another level of crazy. And it works for him. And it's great. Those are the types of things that make Tens such a fun player to watch.
Under Fury, Pecky gets one with a nade. Stazzle trades it back. Seems like they still want to try to approach things. Ooh, double doors. Tense gets dropped as B-Dog gets 2 big kills. Bladestorm still in his pocket. Ooh. Thought that shock dart was going to do it.
Out of charges.
They need to cross with the spike. How do they do it? With the wall. Waiting for the fuel and Shazam, unfortunately. I think thinks there that he's going to get info that they're not on A. So he walks through the smoke, walks through the wall. And unfortunately, the info was they were on A.
And Dapper, that op, just out of reach. Yeah, you can see it.
He has the cage. He wants to go for it.
Yeah, he may be able to. Oh, he got it. Is he gonna surely get out of there, guy? B-Dog with 3 on the round. They're not going to be able to carry the op into the next one. And the LG get to 3.
And it's surprising to see them make these rounds come out of nowhere without a timeout, without anything really. Clearly, they started to figure something out, and that's splitting on A. One thing we actually haven't seen this yet be responded with mid-presence from Sentinels, which over the first 6 rounds, I think happened 4 out of those 6 that they won. So they're going to continue to do what works, and this time Tens is going to explore over towards mid. But it's a more conventional A approach. And Tens has got a lot of information immediately.
That deep dart. You're right, the space there. You can use the drone to try to create some room to work with on A. The deep flash as Sick walks his way forward, and B-Dog greets him. How much more can he find? A second flash as he's playing so well around the Sky utility. What can Sentinels do to snatch it back? It doesn't look like much at all. As Dapper, who's still on the opposite side of the map, never really had a chance to play.
Yeah, there's no op on this side either.
And Ball, you know, we've mentioned a couple of times here, at least statistically, Mata struggling.
Yeah.
He might still not be on the board, but you see the impact that he's having off of his utility to allow B-Dog to get openers, to make plays happen. It's been so big. Uh-oh. Hardest shots are the ones where they're not moving.
Yeah. A corner not really spammable either, I don't think. Either way, they clean it up, and then don't lose anybody in the process. You're right. Mata, we still see him at 0-8, but B-Dog is coming alive. And for why is he doing that? I think, at least in that round, it was those double flash in the back of sight. You saw Sick try to swing off of the flash to find a timing, but it was actually so well placed that it was in front of his face.
And what's crazy there is on that second flash, he flashed both Kempeki and B-Dog, and Shazam, excuse me. Shazam was back sight. Kempeki got hit by it as well, so he's finding value, and it may not be showing up in the kills, but he's opening ways. He's unlocking his star duelists to go do duelist things.
And that's important too, because remember, at the beginning, he was getting farmed in elbow, right?
Yeah, yep.
So for LG and Mata to recognize and fall back and into a different approach at all, a lot of these rounds he's pivotal in making these happen. When they did for that hall split, where B-Dog dashes out, there's a flash after the smoke, after the dash, so B-Dog can peek with it, and they get more kills. Over and over, stuff like that. LG's playing really well to come back into this, and again, they use that wall to try to either take halls or mid. That kind of wall is ambiguous on which side they actually want to use. This time it's through double doors. We'll see if Tens, with a knife from Kempeki, with a dart from Shazam, approaches in mid, and I think he is, yep. He's running it down.
Oh, and B-Dog. So close.
Oh, walk through the other side.
Oh, Tens. Finds the opening he needs, finds the timing to clean up Mata. And he still has the dash up to be able to reposition.
But I think they didn't really recognize the fact that they walked past Tens in that situation. So Tens is frantically running back over here, and Shazam's going to get caught out. No.
You have nest control. This is a big kill. If Tay can find something on a Dapper, but oh yeah, there he is. He falls apart. Dapper's not able to get anything. The sight should be theirs unless Tens can do something with it. You see him still creeping his way around. The Viper Spit's going to provide a little bit of cover. Deny information. I mean, you've got ways to get in here, but Tens has, he has to reposition. And guess what? B-Dog's just around the corner. Tens wise to it, cleans him up. Now they can turn their attention towards the site, towards the Viper's Pit. Got to push their worst forward. Spike ticking away. Tens gets 3. He dashes forward to try to get the 4th, but Sick cleans it up at the end. They take the site right back. Oh, and get the defuse.
That's unbelievable. As we approach the last round of the half, Tens is trying to put this game away already. Try to make it 8-4.
Round in the half.
And money's still looking good from LG, so that's definitely still to play for. But look at this position. He's actually dogging, trailblazing from far away so that Kempeki's knife doesn't get him. So it doesn't cancel. But Tens just sees him in the open. The thing was, too, that trailblazer actually makes it seem that they're going to try to follow it up through door, but LG tried to walk on the other side of the wall. But Tens finds the timing and gets through the wall at the same time.
Blades from straight online. The flash is there. It's both of them. Duel across the middle of the map. Neither ain't getting anything, but it's an op from Tens that wins that out against B-Dog. Oh, you're right. It just kind of feels like the guy's taking over.
He's a monster on this map. Absolute monster.
I think they may know that Kempeki's there, though. They just put him on the mini-map. Tens was there with the cover, and look at that. He swings around, and he gets one anyway.
That's just beautiful stuff. He gets the knife kill still. Come on, man. That is ridiculous. Against all odds, 3 players looking at you and you still frag.
8-4 half for Sentinels. We're going to throw it to a break. We'll be back. Sentinels seem to be breezing their way through the second map of this series as they find themselves up 8-4. Luminosity now on defense have to figure out how the heck do they get back into this thing.
Yeah, but I think B-Dog can have the same sort of impact that Tens did in that first half on this defensive side. He has freedom to reign. And we already saw that they took some strats from M3C over in EMEA, and they're running the almost identical comp, just swapping the chamber. A lot of times B-Dog can do the exact same thing down short, especially with the help of Mada's dog and flashes. So either way, it's going to be those two guys head-to-head on this map more than any.
Sentinels have quietly, without making a sound, funneled their way out towards A, and now you hear the gunfire start to erupt as kills get traded back and forth. Tens with the dash, Sheriff pushing back members of Luminosity as they continue to creep their way forward. You've got to be careful though. You've got Moose on a flank and he gets opener on a Shazam. Oh, the timing's nuts.
One enemy remaining.
There we go. Mada online, he gets 3, okay. Coming out of nowhere through double doors. That's exactly what you want to see to start off a half. The player who didn't have impact going right back at it.
And I want to ball it because literally as you were talking about the combination of Mada and B-Dog and Mada opening things up for B-Dog, at the opening of the round, he trailblazed down elbow while B-Dog swung around. So it seems like they're already setting up around trying to unlock B-Dog. Ball, I think you're absolutely right. For it to happen, I do think it's going to have to be off of B-Dog making things happen.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Tens has got the Marshall and armor investment in this round while the rest of the players save. Meanwhile, by the way, Mada's first 3 kills of the game. And they're huge ones. The first pistol round win for LG come off the back of him.
Series, yeah.
If that's not a confidence booster, I don't know what is. Again, the dog spotting exactly what's going on in elbow, but there's no actual response from B-Dog. They've got a deep dart that landed way outside of cave. So they're going to push that, but not fast enough, I think. I feel like we're watching the same team on this defensive side so far. With the way that Moose is playing the Cypher. That's a big flash. Spots that it's not actually going to be a split potential in the next like 10 seconds. I think the hit's going to start coming. Yep, so they know tunnels is clear.
Cage to provide from cover. They still have time to flip the map, but surely they commit to it at this point, right? You see Viper just drops the wall.
Well, they were just hunting for kills there, actually. You see the wall come down.
Yeah.
It's actually to isolate sorry, not Shazam, Dazzle, potentially. Again, the information is so huge here from Mata.
Doubling down. Dazzle's dart. That's a big kill too onto the spike. Second one out from Dazzle. He's flashed up, not able to land the third. Now you see 10 starting to do things with that Sheriff, but Moose, perhaps Moose can do it. And it's Tig who cleans it up at the end. LG gets a 6.
Great anti-eco. And that time, Dazzle coming up big. Both the initiators, I think, in that instance where Sentinels is kind of really leaving it open what they might do. In this case, trying to get picks dry. Same thing actually that did on pistol round. So far not working. And if that's the idea, if that's the plan, LG at this point know how to receive pretty damn well.
Ten's able to deal a little bit of damage onto B-Dog there. Marshall not finding the early pick. As you see, Sick. He's made his way up into halls.
Poison's off.
Dazzle just on the other side. Does he get froggy? Does he push?
Hope not. Ten's looking right at him. B-Dog not finding the impact, and he goes down.
Punished. And there it is. As soon as the door goes up, you saw Dazzle try to swing out, and he's greeted by 2 members of Sentinels.
Yeah, and Tig is in an unwinnable position there.
Yeah.
At that point, he's getting pinched from Halls and also Cave. So, just Mata and Moose, and this was the bonus for them. Don't forget their first bonus opportunity. And it doesn't go well at all. That camera really? Okay, yeah, it's not looking down at all, but I can't believe that actually spots the cross to double doors, though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a nice cam. And it seems like... I mean, I guess it's better to save the Spectre. It's better than nothing.
Well, I think they'll definitely get some resistance here anyways. Mata has the opportunity. Yeah, he's going to get ult next round with that kill. That's nice. Not necessarily an impact ult on this map, but every little bit helps. And B-Dog's got the op online. Don't forget on Bind, they went on a streak. As soon as B-Dog got this op up, albeit he was playing Chamber, they ended up winning the next 4 rounds.
Yeah, he was cooking.
He was on fire. But he's got to match 10s. 21 and 10. I mean, this game is clear as day, those two battling it out.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever gets the upper hand in this second half might just carry their team to a victory.
You see B-Dog starting to push the matter. He's got the dash. He's got the op. He's got the shot and the kill onto 10s.
Great exploration. Something that actually he wasn't able to fully do on Chamber, even though he was doing it consistently. But look, Dapper's actually walked out towards cinder blocks. And with this wall going down, actually he could opt to try to take a fight. But the dart reveals him.
There's really no way for him to do a whole lot, but he decides to double down and he stays, doesn't reposition. Values the positioning a bit more.
Meanwhile, Mata's actually explored quite a lot down elbow, so they know this hit is real.
What can they do about it? You've got Tig who's still playing on site. He's just kind of... He's fully committed. What a shot out from B-Dog. How much more can he find? Now you see Tig start to swing around the pyramids, not finding anything. Viper's Pit.
What?
Something happened, but my goodness, Moose does it right back. 6 left alone in a 1v4, making a 1v3, a 1v2. Surely not. Surely not. Almost. My goodness, but Moose with 3 at the end. Cleans things up. B-Dog's going to get one step closer to that Blade Storm. And Luminosity get to 7. They're not out yet, Balla.
No, not at all. B-Dog's still here. B-Dog still got the op, but also the player coming through double doors is the Cypher player who is anchoring the B site. So you can see how much influence that Mata push down elbow actually got. So much. And he finds 2 kills inside the Viper's Pit. And then it's so difficult to actually hold on as sick in that position because he's getting pinched from a lot of different sides. He wants to try to keep his Viper's Pit alive, and unfortunately that leaves you in an impossible situation in a lot of cases.
Early tag right off the bat onto Tig.
Ten's got knives with that orb. Also keeping track of Kempeki and his ult orb status too, because that is really an impact ult. Love what I'm seeing from Sick, the deep position to actually receive this potential flank from or push from Mata. But he's really isolated against 4 people right here. Mata, this is dangerous territory.
No way, they don't clear that! Now he's got a flash to give him exit, but Ten's lands the shots anyway. Excuse me, the blades. Dazzle trading it back, 4v3 in favor of LG. And Sentinels have to throw the brakes on this thing.
Against 10's down early. Last time, we actually saw them struggle to get out of cave after 10's fell to B-Dog's push. It came up to Dapper actually to try to make a play. This time it doesn't feel like anybody has the proactivity to go for it. What is that shot from B-Dog? That is absurd. A wallbang headshot as he shoulder peeks. We saw it already how ridiculous this kid is on bind. And right now he's bringing LG back in this game.
Sick again, finds himself in a big 1vx.
10 seconds
I said it
left.
last time, but this time, surely there's no time.
Yeah, he's not going to have enough time.
He could get the plant money, and that is crucial. Or not.
Or not. But yeah, bro, B-Dog. B-Dog, you essentially looked at him and you said, if you guys want to get back in the game, it's on your shoulders. And he's still not, I mean, boy, is he making a run at it, though.
This shot.
Dude, like, the hard thing is, there are times when you play everything correctly,
Yeah.
and he still does that.
Love that. And Sentinel's money is messed up at this point. Six just got the Vandal from last round, and actually leave it on Sick, who still has the armor. And 10 so far, not on this half, has found the same value that he did on that defense. And that was what I was talking about. How much easier it is on defense for these Jet Operas to find a lot of value, especially with the change, the patch.
Spotted at least 2 there, potentially the 3rd.
I like the info updraft there so that they can cross safely, knowing that there's nobody peeking them from double doors. But again, they're going into B-Dog.
They may not be. See how well they're spread out.
Good patience there too from LG, specifically B-Dog. Not to push with the timer going down. A lot of people expect that they have to use that dash, but no.
Tripwire gets cleared out. Still don't have full control of A. Dazzle still
Spike on the
hanging
cross.
back sight. Yeah.
They just got to hold this right now. They have no wall or anything to actually stop her. There's the cage to cross, but nobody to do it, and it missed. Dapper's recovered it now.
Tay getting challenged by 10s. And the shock dart cleans it up out of Shazam at the end. Door goes up. Moose looking for any head to take off. He spots a couple. Not able to land the shots yet. Shazam weak. Dapper. It's stuck.
This round comes down to Sick. He's got the Vandal into the power position inside of double doors, but they're expecting it.
Smoke him off, and they push him off too.
One enemy
He's weak now. Yeah, he ultimately falls. Mata with 49 HP, but it's Dazzle who gets 3 at the end, and they're going to tie things up at 9 apiece. My goodness.
And LG is not done yet. After the beginning of that first half, they claw back. And right now, I think a lot of people are scratching their heads still in not only just the results so far, but LG's performance in the last few matches that they've had, right? Qualifying first shot through open qualifiers, at least in the lower bracket, and then also the upsets that they pulled off last stage. I have to remind people that this is the only team that came from Challengers last season that had to play back through open qualifiers that did not make a roster change. And you can see the dividends right here. So coordinated. Even through complete meta shifts.
Eyes down.
Yeah, it doesn't get much easier than that. You hear the null command come through. The Hunter Fury is going to follow as Tig trying to play around the stairs, trying to stay alive. Spots ahead, spots a second. Not able to connect on either, as Sentinels have found the openings that they need on A.
But look at the flank. It's coming really fast from Moose.
Yeah, but it's a 4v2.
B-Dog still with the approaching.
Well, that was the easy one. Chaz had nothing but a classic. How much more can they find? Time not on their side. B-Dog not able to land the first shot. He tries to go up top.
That movement was insane still.
Moose isn't doing it either. He had the 1v3, and it was just a bit too much as Tens cleans things up at the end. Sentinels take the lead right back, and it feels like we're back on bind.
That match was 13-11. And this one looks like it's going the distance as well. And this is still a good sign, I think, for Sentinels right there to come back into that one, slow the approach, bring it through on a mid-split. But they did not succeed at getting the op out of B-Dog's hands yet economically. Still, LG has a little bit of control. But one thing we're really not seeing is that aggressive approach that B-Dog had. Right? So they're kind of banking on the fact
Here.
that Sentinels is going to go towards his site.
Yeah.
And in this case, it looks like they're right so far. Conditions could change.
Oh, and it's not just him, too. Oh, Moo. Oh, did
The
he spot a
timing-
shoulder?
oh, he saw him,
did!
but the other didn't. Shazam did not.
That's a pixel. That looks so close. And with this, it seems like they want to continue to double down. Moose gets a third on the round. His utility is set up here. You've dropped B-Dog's up. And you managed to get through Moose as well. Those were big ones as Kempeki gets 3. It's a 2v2. Tig. So far away.
Immediately smokes the spike too. Kempeki stuck, but he's watching the flank, and that's where Tig is coming from.
62 HP though, man. He's gotta be good for it.
This Trailblazer has to find Kempeki. It doesn't.
Oh, how does he not land those shots? Kempeki 22. He has to swing around. Mata gets set. It's all on to Sick. He's going to be able to isolate it to 1v1. Tig pushing through the smoke, and Sick does it again. The Red Bull clutch for Sentinels.
What a play! To switch to the classic as he runs out of Vandal bullets, gets the vulnerable off from the snake bite. And that's an easy fight still, even with the weaker weapon. The double damage, so huge! Sick! I was slightly wondering, because Tens is playing so well earlier on, oh, are they leaving the Vandal on Sick? But that's a massive play. The confidence they have in each other.
Remaining.
In this case, the confidence he has in himself. Look at this. Vulnerable, and that's 3 bullets from the classic right there.
Unreal.
And that now finally might have achieved, Doug, the goal of getting B-Dog's op out of his hands. I believe that LG doesn't have too much money here. Maybe enough to scrap together a buy, but they've been investing over and over when they lose these rounds into the operator. And this time, there's no tour de force to be had.
The thing is, man, LG had a chance to win that one out. I felt like they had more than one chance to win that round out. Boy, if Sentinels don't show up when they need to the most. You're right, economy on the side of Luminosity's in shambles. Light armor, just a Guardian for Dazzle. You've got the blades for B-Dog. So you've got something, but this is a difficult situation for the boys on the defensive half. Look, it looks like they want to push a little bit aggressively into caves. Flash. There it is. They find some info. Look at B-Dog. He's got to find value. One. Mata got one with the frenzy as well. And look at Dazzle.
They're still pushing.
Push from all fronts. They try to suffocate out Sentinels, and they leave Tens alone.
Oh! Everything gone in an instant. Sentinels tries to respond. And I think they have to think exactly what I was thinking in that case. There's no way they continue to push after those first 2 kills. There's no way they don't just grab the guns and leave. But a push comes through halls, and they continue through in cave. That is absurd. And another Thrifty in the most crucial time possible. That is so nice from LG.
Optimize.
And they're one round away from actually breaking the economy of Sentinels in the case when they could go up onto match point. So this is massive, and they've got the op back. They picked up that round.
Now Tens with blades of his own. Looks like they're going to
Fast.
push the matter towards double doors. Yeah, you're right. It's going to be quick.
They've got to hold on the cave here. Shazam's alone, though. Maybe Sick can actually hold him.
He's in trouble. He is in trouble. Down to 70 HP now. As the dash comes through, but B-Dog lands a shot onto Tens. He looks for a second, and he does it. Ultimately pays for it with his life. 3v3 neural theft comes through.
Spike planted.
Double shock. Oh, that's a lot of damage. But he pays for it. Dapper with the swing.
Now, yeah, they do have the Seekers. That's an info, but this is so difficult. Kempeki with the nades is going to provide him a little bit of cover, a little bit of time. Dapper's so weak, 50 HP. Kempeki's still trying to dance around, not able to do it. A 2v2. Mata 7 HP to his name. Look at him funny, and he dies here, and Shazam still playing on caves might be exactly what they needed. Shazam gets 3 at the end, and Sentinels get to 12.
Still money here from LG because of the Thrifty, though. Match point for Sentinels. This time so far they've achieved the goal of not losing in regulation. But to close this out, they need to pull something exactly like that out again. And they have to hope that LG pulls the wrong tool out of the kit, trying to push Cave in that situation. But here it is. Sentinels, they've got the KO ult, no command, and LG's not reacting. Cypher is still here. Moose is still here. But he's running all the way back to spawn. Cannot get caught by these pulses.
Yeah.
And Mata has no flashes to deal with.
There's the ult. He's still far off.
The
Yep, the Cypher utility. Enough to delay for a tag. Tens works his way forward and falls. As Mata repositions, he gets a second. He's gone unchecked. The spike's still not on yet, and now B-Dog with the op is going to be able to hold things down from Nest. Sentinels walk into a trap. Oh, and there's no way through. Shazam in a 1v5, and he's not going to pull it off. The Prime Gaming flawless to get Luminosity to 11. Friends at home, check your pulses. We're not done yet.
No, we aren't. LG never giving up. Continuing the same story from playoffs. A resilient team that is consistently underrated. Over and over. We look at a matchup with LG and say, But I think right now, starting off strong in week 1 and opening day is a massive statement. And that's twice now that they've gone on to rounds where, I mean, that Thrifty round was ridiculous. They pull something out of a hat that just completely dominates Sentinels. And now Sentinels does not have the ult to fall back on.
Yeah.
The fast play that they've been going for in the last 2 rounds. LG's gotten responses to that. So what else is in the book?
Sentinels call a timeout here as they try to think through things. I want to very quickly mention this only because we've talked about it a fair amount. Mata went into this half with 0 kills.
Yep.
He now has 13. And it's not just like eco frags. He's not just farming basic things. You think about the 2 openers that he had on that round. The first one onto Tens, who was dashing into his lap, manages to stay alive and reposition to clear out back B as well. High value kills.
That's huge.
And now look at the buy for Sentinels. A Stinger, a Marshall.
They're going to hit B again fast, and this time it's completely different. Look, Moose has swapped over towards A. It's not a setup that they've played so far. The Flash already spots, and he's pre-mollying. They see the dart coming, and he's going to molly again.
And he spams through the dash. The weakness from the molly is enough to take care of Tens.
Every single time that Tens has gone down early, too, Sentinels has had to stall. And it comes down to players like Dapper and Sick to try to make a play.
E-Dog's got to get something here. You see him positioning and try to cut off rotations if they try to take mid-map.
Where does this drone go?
Yeah, it's going
to him.
No
It's spotted
way.
for sure.
Surely, right? Surely, no! And now the cloudburst is B-Dog finds his
Oh!
corner and he gets a second!
Down mid.
Willing this game to overtime right now.
Unreal. Unreal.
Revealing area.
And again, Shazam left in a position that is so difficult. 1v5 last round, 1v4 this round.
with a
Getting
shot
shocked down to
his face.
half HP.
Yeah.
30 seconds left.
You mentioned the resilience out from Luminosity. Man, if that's not on full display on this map, I don't know what is. Well, I missed VCT, man.
Let's go, baby.
Overtime.
Reminder, this was 6-1 to start off. 6-1.
6-1, 8-4 half.
Yep. Ridiculous comeback from LG. And ridiculous in the sense that they've gotten so many players online in moments that they clearly were not. I think huge props to Mata. Huge props to Moose as well. Take two. I mean, everybody starting to frag. They realize the importance of the situation. Nobody is shying away from this moment.
I love overtime, too, because this is really where the game goes into the hands of the callers, of the leaders for the teams. It's a blank slate. How deep is the playbook? Dazzle against Shazam here.
Again, Ten's going fast down mid, and he's going even more brazenly.
And it pays off.
Up drafting on top of the wall, and yeah, immediately pays off. Tig did not put down his wall. So they're going to have to take this dry as all. No smokes to cover. We've got to work the picks. Moose is in prime position to potentially do that. And I think that's what they're going to do. Try, put pressure on the B, and Moose tries to catch a rotator. They have 1 minute left to still work with. Hens has got to activate his dash with his Trailblazer.
Blocking sight.
Does he? Surely he does, right?
He just walks out, of course.
Of course. Of course.
Here comes Moose. This is what I'm talking about, the push and pull. He's out.
And he's out. And he's out. We're right about that. 5v3, 10 should be able to clear the rotations, and it doesn't get much easier. He spots one, spots a second, the third on the round for him, repositions to get the third, but no, it's B-Dog who cleans that up, but Sentinels get to 13. They take the first round of this overtime bout.
And it's this map is very important, I think, for LG to try to close out. Obviously, they're so close to doing it, but Fracture is the one that they lost in their previous series. They did not play Breeze against each other. So we'll see. They've got to be thinking the same exact thing, too.
The thing is,
back to the side that they're good at.
Yeah.
The side that they brought the game back on.
Try to get B-Dog in a cheeky position with the op, and the guy does not miss.
The thing there, you remember Ten's making a similar play walking through the smoke. In this case, actually, LG does it with teammates. Again, Mata's there, hip and hit with B-Dog. Major difference in the play styles of both teams, but again, they're close. The dog spots it, though. LG is reading everything right now, knowing the tendencies that Sentinels likes to play with. They managed to close that door, no.
Whew. The pixel was all that was given there. Modestly playing back yellow. He swings out at just the right time.
Spike planted.
Look at Tens.
Spike planted, though. Yeah, look at Tens. Oh my gosh!
Turns at the right second. B-Dog continues to rampage this server.
Kimpeki and Shazam
Remaining.
to try to force it over, and Kimpeki has gotten it to a 1v3. Spike ticking away. He got another one, but that's all it was going to be. They're going to get the defuse. And we're going again.
How do they stop the aggression from Tens, though? Remember what it was for them. Once they started accruing rounds on their attacking sides, it was just barreling onto A. It was just those splits that continuously worked out. All they've got to be careful is if Tens jumping over a wall.
Oh, it's that easy.
Man, that timing on the turn. Oh. I don't know if that's just a sixth sense or just pure luck. Because he was about to take out two easily.
Better lucky than good, though, yeah?
Sure, sure.
13 apiece. 10's not pushing mid, as we've talked about a couple of times. It seems like it's wanting to test things out right outside of A, and that's exactly where Luminosity want to go. The Trailblazer not going to spot. Any concrete info? Dead silent. Neither team really willing to take a step here. Now you see the drone come out. Tenz's position is going to be given away. The flash and clappers to try to provide some cover. No, he falls. Sick does too. Luminosity in a position here to finally take the lead back on overtime. And they're doing so with flying colors. Dapper and Shazam, the only two that remain on the defensive side. Now you've got the Seekers to deal with too.
And both of them go towards spawn, so perfect position here now for Moose to make a play.
And at just the right time, you see him start to test the water, swing out by door. Not able to connect, but the pressure overwhelming for Sentinels here. Dapper creeping his way forward. The hat's given. Dapper lands the nasty flick. Has he got the second? Shazam in a 1v3. Dazzle's weak. There's just not enough time. Not enough time. Shazam gets it to a 1v2. Surely. No freaking way. My goodness.
Those taps, man. Those taps.
Switching sides.
LG,
Match point.
they've got advantage here.
Freaking
They could take this series right now.
B-Dog and Tense are both going to drop 30 bombs. I mean, come on.
What a battle, man. What a battle. And you could even see in the KDA the difference in the playstyles that they've had in some cases, right? B-Dog, 17 kills only. That's huge. He's staying consistently alive throughout the entire round. Whereas Tens is forced on this team right now to be taking point, to be really pushing and making space on his own.
Sentinels calling a timeout here. And again, this is where IGL has really come on display. This is where you learn what they're made of here now with the timeout to buy you a little bit more time to mull things over.
Fully agreed, but so far this game has been kind of a bloodbath, right? In terms of the strats that they're going for.
Sure.
They've kind of found each of them two things that work, right? For Sentinels, when they get on that defensive side, it's just let's walk Tens down mid, right? It's try to barrel onto a site slowly, try to walk out. For LG, on their attack sides, it's let's split onto A. Let's completely avoid the B site. And on their defense, it's anchor somewhere with B-Dog. He doesn't have the op this round, guys. He did not invest to go glass cannon. Instead, finds a position way up on the stack. And I think this is really important. That knife gives some false information. And if they do try to end up walking out with the wall or something like that, which I don't think they will, he could get an easy kill.
Oh, but you've got to be careful. Look at the rotations out from Luminosity. They've left B. They've left Moose alone. There's no one even in nest. The door, that should confirm things.
Is there a flash? Not in time for Mata. They're not going to confirm. They just hear some Moose. All up to him.
He's got to be good for at least one here. He's got to be good for at least one. Mata's already fallen. Sick taking aggressive positioning as they wrap around him and leave him no options, no room to breathe.
The rest of LG is way too slow.
Well, they were on the opposite side of the map. It was all off of those early rotations. There was no way for them to get back soon enough.
Sure, but even B-Dog's still close clearing through cave when the hit is coming.
Yeah.
I got to see him running it down, especially with the Phantom in this case.
Last player standing.
And now they have to potentially do the tough task of winning again on their attack side.
Where they've struggled.
They've struggled. They really have.
Switching sides. Overtime.
Because remind me, yeah, it was an 8-4 half, and they've won one attack half on overtime since.
Yeah,
so of
far.
the 29 rounds they've played, 5 of them were attack wins so far.
And B-Dog has quieted down a little bit. At least in the first couple of overtime rounds. There was obviously that defensive one to bring it back. But I think they cannot make those gamble adjustments, right? Where, again, it kind of feels like the way that B-Dog is playing, the way that LG is playing, putting him in a position to anchor, not necessarily a position. In some cases, they do go aggressive with him. But in most cases, he's playing to receive. So Sentinel's goal right now is find the opper, and run to the other site. Straight up. So there's two ways to approach that. Number one, be more aggressive from B-Dog, and we've seen him be comfortable in those positions, but also just be dynamic, right? Rotate after you get knifed in that instance, for example. Either way. Again, attack side so far from LG, and the timeout is going to come up with a set. Sentinels is already marking double doors, marking potentially that they have to do something to stop the split.
Oh, this is a nice spot.
Stop the Hall's presence, something like that. And they've got a big wall to actually be able to do it. 10 straight through mid. And right back up towards elbow, but this is interesting. He's making the wrong read. And going into Dapper and Kempeki. Over towards A, leaving them alone.
Still all the Cypher utility here. Moose is not going to be able to really get in deeply without having to deal with that tripwire.
Take flight.
All right, surely they double down here. The drone, the Viper's wall. And now the door goes up. Moose in a really good position here, and Shazam's going to have to swing around to try to deal with him here. His B-Dog works his way onto the site, takes care of Dapper. Moose still alive. Moose still causing problems from up top, and if he continues to go left unchecked, it's going to be problematic for Sentinels. But 10 swings right back with 3! Oh no, he's got the blades, and he pulls them out, but he lands the shots anyway! 4, and Sick gets the 5th as Sentinels get to 15!
What is that? The taps! And again, the knives pulled out in a very inopportune moment, but he still gets that first shot. This guy is unbelievable.
37 kills to out in the open swing out with the Blade Storm. That's just nuts.
This is why Sentinels is still such a threat to any team in these groups. It's that man, and that man alone sometimes.
And it felt like an eternity watching him switch out. But alas, Sentinels again take the lead. Now they're on attack.
This camera, okay, Moose.
Spotted. Moose has to reposition. He took a little bit of damage.
It's up to B-Dog. He's got the op this time. Got the first kill.
There it is. The dash. Oh, it was a kill trip, but it doesn't land.
What
a shot. Numbers still in favor of LG, though.
Winning that battle is massive. B-Dog was still basically a sentinel inside of that half wall. And for him to be gone, they can move freely throughout the site. You can see tents crossing. Other people can move out of their positions if they so desire, but there's a 3-point retake coming.
All depends on how Dazzle chooses to approach this. Are there enough? The defenses of Sentinels, are there enough? 3v2, Kempeki and Tens, only 2 that remain. Kempeki's able to equalize things. But Kempeki falls. Tens, who else but Tens?
They've got to go.
And they've got
Camera trying to spot him. It spotted his shoulder.
1v2, Tens, reposition, maybe able to get one. He's got